Don't you know who we are, Jesus? Don't you know that we are the descendants of the great Abraham? Don't you know, Jesus, that we don't need freedom? We are the lords of all, Jesus. We already have freedom simply because we're Abraham's seed. Want me to show you, Jesus? I'm circumcised. Right? I have the law of Moses. Jesus, what more do I need? Why don't you go and tell all those heathen Gentiles who are in darkness and need freedom? But I don't need freedom, Jesus. Now, the truth is the Jews were not free either in a physical sense or a spiritual sense. Right? It is an ironic statement for them to say, we have never been in bondage to anyone, when the entirety of the Bible is a history of who they were in bondage to, right? They begin, who are they in bondage to? To the Egyptians. God's got to free them. Then they get in the promised land, who they're in bondage to again? Basically all the differentites at some point, right? The Canaanites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, everybody conquers them at some point. Right? And then, of course, they're conquered by the Assyrians. Then they're conquered by the Babylonians. And then they're conquered by the Greeks. And then they're conquered by the Romans. And they're still under the power of the Romans when Jesus is speaking to them, right? And here they say, we've never been in bondage to anybody. I mean, what arrogance, what silliness. But even more importantly, and what Jesus stresses here, is that they had been under the bondage of sin. Right? They not only were not physically free, and they were not politically free, but most importantly, they were not spiritually free. And this didn't just apply to them. It applies to everybody, everywhere. We are all slaves of sin. The ultimate freedom Christ came to bring us is the freedom of being liberated from the power of sin, right? Aren't you glad for that?